Flirting is essential for creating more sexual chemistry with your crush or with your girlfriend. In this video, we are going to talk about teasing, which is one of the best ways to flirt. Plus, I'm going to share tons of examples that you can use in real life. By the way, I'm Blaine, I'm a dating coach for men, and welcome to my channel. So, why is flirting so important? You've probably seen Nature or the Discovery Channel, and you might have noticed that across the animal kingdom, it is usually the males who are displaying courtship behaviors to attract the females. For example, this might be a peacock fanning his big beautiful tail feathers as a way to get the lady peacock to notice him. Across the animal species, flirting tends to be much more overt, like with the peacocks. But for humans, flirting tends to be much more covert. So, what does this mean for you? First, you need to know how to flirt. This is how women are going to know that you are romantically interested in them. Second, you don't want to be so overtly flirting like the peacock. You don't want to be shaking your wrist in a woman's face so she notices your watch or bragging about how big your you-know-what is. That's not gonna work. Third, it means that you do want to know how to subtly flirt. And teasing is one of the best ways to do this as long as it is done appropriately. So let's talk about how to tease appropriately. Teasing can be tricky because on one hand, you are intentionally rocking the boat a bit to elicit an emotional response. And on the other hand, it's easy to rock the boat too much, go overboard, and elicit the wrong type of emotional response. The guiding principle to make sure you don't go overboard is that you want to make sure she feels good. She should feel good about herself, she should feel good about the interaction, she should feel good about you if you're teasing appropriately. To this end of making her feel good, you want to think about a few things. Your expressions. Do you look happy? Happiness is contagious. Are you smiling or do you look unhappy or grumpy? Your tone, is it upbeat and playful or does it sound critical? The subject matter. Is this something she's gonna be okay being teased about, like her boots or her silly hat? Or is this something that she might be self-conscious about, like her nose? And most importantly, what are your intentions? If your true intentions are not to make her feel good, this is going to show through in your expressions and your tone and all the other things we just talked about, and she is not going to like it. There is some inherent risk to teasing because different women are going to react differently to what you say. But as long as you follow the tips we talked about and you're willing to backpedal a little bit if things start to go awry, you're gonna be okay. So let's get into some examples. The first and one of my favorite ways to tease is to give her a nickname. Just like using somebody's first name in conversation can make them feel important and it shows that you cared to remember it, giving her a nickname does the same thing with a flirty twist. To find a nickname, look for contextual clues, things she's told you in conversation or things she's wearing or what you're doing. For example, she tells you she went to Harvard, call her Harvard or Elle Woods. Or she's wearing cowboy boots, call her cowgirl. Or she tells you she's from New Jersey, call her Jersey. One caveat here, just like it feels unnatural and salesy if you use somebody's first name over and over and over again in conversation, same applies to the nickname. Sprinkle it into conversation, but don't continue to go back to it. That'll feel annoying. Example 2, play with stereotypes. Stereotypes often have a negative connotation for good reason. They can be really hurtful or mean. But light stereotyping, when done appropriately, can be a great way to tease and create romantic chemistry. Running with the New Jersey example, you might play with the stereotype to tease her and ask, how's your friend Snooki doing? Or say that you need to buy her a drink so her dad Tony doesn't whack you. Just remember to stick with positive stereotypes. You don't want to go on the negative side, like telling her you can tell she's from New Jersey because of her fake tan. Example 3, mocking. Mocking needs to be used carefully. It should not be used with somebody you just met or it's your first conversation. It's more appropriate with somebody that you've been seeing for a while or even your girlfriend. Let's say your girlfriend says something bratty, like, I only want to go out tonight if we can get pizza. You might repeat it back to her in a high-pitched tone, like, I only want to go out tonight if we can get pizza. Remember, you're bringing humor into the situation to tease her, not trying to make anybody feel bad. Example 4, suggest she has questionable taste. Maybe she has an unconventional preference, or you just want to poke lightweight fun at something she likes. For example, she says she likes Cooler Ranch Doritos. You might say, oh, come on, everyone knows nacho cheese is superior. Or she puts on the Backstreet Boys while you're driving. You might say, I had no idea you had such refined taste in music. Just like with all the other examples, your goal is to be playful, not to put her down. You've succeeded if it starts a conversation about your taste and preferences and leaves everyone knowing a little bit more about one another and feeling good. Example 5, suggest she is coming on to you. This is one of my favorite ways to tease and create some romantic chemistry because it is not remotely negative like some of the other examples and cannot be construed that way. But it is a fun and playful way to acknowledge a romantic moment and that you like each other. Just remember that this is best used when she actually does like you. So once you have a little rapport going. To try this tease out, wait till a moment where you sense she is coming on to you or flirting with you. And then in an innocent but knowing voice, say, are you coming on to me? Or are you flirting with me? Or maybe she pays you a compliment like, you look great in that suit. And you say, so what I'm hearing is you have a massive crush on me. Just remember, this only works if she actually likes you. So make sure you have a sense of where you stand with her before trying it. Example 6. Joke that it can't work out between you. This tends to work best early on when there is no expectation that things are going to work out. For example, you match on a dating app and she has a picture at a Mets game, but you're a Yankees fan. You might message her something like, uh-oh, Yankees fan here. Doesn't look like it's gonna work out between us, with a winky face. Or let's say you're texting early on and you live in a small town in the Midwest and she mentions that she just moved there from New York City. You might say, uh-oh, my mom warned me about girls like you, with a winky face. Like with all of these examples, tone is super important, and tone is hard to convey via text. So leverage the emojis, whether it's the winky face or the tongue out face, to show that you are teasing. Example 7, initiate a challenge. So let's say you are a Yankees fan and she's a Mets fan and your teams are playing each other. Joke that whoever's team wins gets to pick the dinner spot tonight. Or maybe you both competitively play Wordle every morning. Text her that whoever gets the Wordle first gets to run the show tonight back at your place with the little devil emoji. Obviously, this one's pretty spicy, so make sure you're using it at an appropriate time. I hope you found those examples for teasing helpful and this is useful for your dating life. Make sure you tap that subscribe button so you're the first to know when I share new content like this. And if you have any requests for content or things you want to know about, let me know in the comments or just any questions because I know teasing is definitely a bit nuanced. Are you the best flirt or are you the best flirt?